Hi guys, Alice Taylor down here at Lytham Golf Academy, and today I'm testing the brand new Taylormade Sim Drivers. Right then guys, so Taylormade Sim Driver, shape in motion, very fancy. So we've moved away from the M series and we're now into Sim. We're gonna have a close-up look at the heads. I've got two of the three models. I've got Sim and Sim Max. There's also a draw bias one that I haven't got my hands on, and to be fair, probably wouldn't be something that I would use anyway. But let's have a close-up look at the head, ram-packed full of tech, and then we're gonna hit some shots and see, do Taylormade deliver on what they're promising? So we start off with the Sim Max. So we can see we've got a little bit of sliding weight in the bottom, so that little bit of adjustability for draw and fade bias. More about lining the CG up with the strike for that more than anything. But the big talking point for this year is the new aerodynamic sole, and Taylormade calling it their inertia generator. So the idea of this is it's going to reduce drag with the club head speed. So designed to produce faster club head speed, which then should translate into more ball speed and more distance, while the weight at the back of the club is going to create a higher MOI, therefore more forgiveness on those strikes as well. So we've still got the speed injected twist face, so maximum ball speed across that club face, and also then that twist face to compensate for more accuracy on those off-centre strikes. We've still got the loft sleeve in there, up or down 2 degrees, and that's also that ability to just fine-tune the club face position as well as loft. And when we look at the top, we can still see that multi-material, so carbon crown, really allowing Taylormade to redistribute the weight around the club head to give ultra-low centre of gravity, but the highest MOI to make it ultimately forgiving. So as we move on to Sim Max, we see all the similar technology. We've still got the injected twist face, we've still got the carbon crown, so ultra low CG still, but we don't have a sliding weight in there in the Max, so not maybe quite that level of forgiveness. But the big change with the Sim Max is a slightly larger face on Max than there is on the Sim, to provide more confidence and then hopefully offer that little bit more forgiveness, potentially for that guy who's maybe the ball striking isn't quite as sharp. Right then guys, so like I said at the start, I've only got the Sim and the Sim Max. So I'm going to start with Sim. A little bit less adjustability with this year's model than there was last year, but for me, I've just got the weight pretty central in the face. Don't really mess around too much with that for me. I've got this set at 9, which is maybe a little bit more loft than I would normally use, but I've hit just a few shots kind of to get it set up right, and this generally gave me a pretty good performance. So I'm going to hit some shots. Obviously lots and lots of tech in this head. Let's see how it looks, how it feels. Does this extra aerodynamic shape create more club head speed? And the key thing Taylormade are saying is, in the really vital part of the golf swing, which they feel that once the club gets to around here, this is where the more traditional designs, there's a bit more drag on the club head speed, so they feel you lose a little bit. So we're hoping with this design that the club's more aerodynamic through here, so we're not losing speed. In fact, we're still building speed, going to get more club head speed, more ball speed, and hit the ball further. Because the challenge is, we already have been told that the face is maxed out. So a bit more forgiveness as well with the weight being the back. So the face is as fast as possible. So the only way we're going to start hitting the ball further with good launch conditions is more club head speed. So I'm going to hit a few with Sim, then we're going to go Sim Max, kind of give you feedback on kind of out of the two models which one I prefer, which one I think might lend itself to different golfers, and just generally, is Sim going to be something that could be going in your bag? So I think behind the golf ball, I like the look of it. I actually quite like the kind of chalk colour this year rather than maybe what they have been doing with playing around. Still fairly thin on top, that change. And the carbon crown, definitely more noticeably kind of silvery on top this year. I quite like that look. So let's hit some shots and see how it performs. A little pushy one to start with. Okay. So a little bit toey, and that's generally my strike with driver. Is usually just a little bit high, a little bit toey, which more than anything I know gives me some really good launch conditions. So club head speed 106. Again, a little bit towards the toe. Club head speed. Again, 107. Now, what I would say is it's cold down here at Lytham Golf Academy. Obviously, woolly hats on, winter gears on. So I'm not expecting me personally to be able to move as quickly as I can. Now, I would say I've hit some shots in warm-up with my own driver and was swinging round about that kind of 106 to 108. So first couple there, not really seeing any pickup in club head speed. A little bit left. So again, 107, nearly 108. And I do really, really like the look, and I really like the feel of this driver. So I think from those two perspectives, I think Taylormade have done a really, really good job. When I look at my numbers there, that one was a little bit low spin, but good ball speed from the club head speed generated. So let's just go one more with Sim. So maybe a little bit lower with the strike. And again, all in all, pretty decent performance. So let's look at how that performs relative to how it should perform for me. So we'll look at my numbers there, very, very close to optimum. Spin a little bit on the low side, which I would tend to just put down to strike more than anything with me there. But all in all, pretty good performance, but not really seeing any pickup in speed as a result of that. Right, so that moves me on to the Sim Max. Now, for me, obviously no adjustability with the head just around the hosel with this one. But what Taylormade is saying is the change in the size of the face and a bit of the shape of the head to maybe give a little different look to the drivers. And certainly when you put them down next to each other, I think the Sim Max looks very, very different to the Sim. And if I'm being honest, I kind of prefer visually the look of that slightly deeper club face. So let's hit some shots with this. So Sim came out very, very good and kind of very where I would expect. But like I said, didn't see any pickup in club head speed. Right, so Sim Max. So straight away, I think out of the two models, I prefer the look of this one. A little bit low off the face. Pretty much the shape of shot I would expect. So a little bit more backspin. Now, is that down to the design of the head or the contact there? I would suspect probably more strike than anything. But straight away, like I said, I definitely prefer the look of that. Feel-wise, it felt pretty much the same. So again, that one just setting off a little right. Now a little bit more club head speed on that one. 263, 287. And then we see that spin drop right down, which again is more around my contact point on the club face. So let's go a couple more with Sim Max. A little bit straighter. Just working a little bit the other way. So maybe seeing a mile an hour difference in speed. Good strike. Again, a little bit spinny. So let's go for one last one with this one. Let's go for a big one. Let's see if we can get one 300 yards with this. So felt nice. Love that flight. The most centered strike, which therefore is my best club head speed. And if we look at the averages with that one, So we can see again, very good numbers. You know, maybe the spin a little bit high. I would probably just put that down to that one that was a bit low strike. But even if we take that out there, we can see very, very optimal with my numbers. And again, just not really seeing a massive change. But I do think there's limits to what the manufacturers can do now. But all in all, very good drivers. Right then, guys, so we saw the numbers there. I mean, just very much what I would expect with my golf swing. Did I see a pickup in clubhead speed? Not really. I think with all the manufacturers, I think the aerodynamic stuff is very, very hard when a guy's hitting shots to see that change. I think I'm always capable of getting an extra couple of miles an hour just when my timing's a little bit better. But I don't necessarily see the aerodynamics making that difference. Do I prefer these to kind of M5 and M6? Yeah, I think I preferred the feel, and I like the look of these. So these are going to perform great if they're set up properly for you. If you're in the market for a new driver for 2020, I think the Taylormade Sim or Sim Max is definitely something you should be trying. You know, Taylormade have got a great history in producing top-end drivers, and these are just to add to that list. For me personally, I prefer the Max, a little bit less adjustability, but we're seeing less even in the Sim. So all in all, I think good drivers from Taylormade, but you need to get along, get fitted, see what works best for you, and then put something in your bag that you can stick with for a decent length of time. So guys, hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, like and share it. Comment below. Let me know if you've tried Sim. Did it go in the bag? If it didn't, did something else beat it? Or did you not need to upgrade from what you're currently using? But I'll try and get back to as many comments as I can. If you don't currently subscribe, please consider clicking that subscribe button, ringing the notification bell, then you'll find out when I drop a new video. Follow me on all my social media platforms, all under Ali Taylor Golf. Hopefully catch up with some of you guys down here soon. Stay in contact.